Growing up, unfortunately, my family was pretty unhealthy and unstable. My parents were pretty much emotionally unavailable for us, and my dad was always working. He was a truck driver, so he was hardly ever home. My mom, she didn't really show us that emotional nurturing that we needed. Eventually, they separated when I was in elementary school, and my mom raised all 5 of us. Because my parents emotionally neglected us, it was especially difficult for me because I was a child that felt a lot. And even though my mom raised us, me and my siblings, we grew up pretty emotionally separated because we didn't have that nurturing that we needed. I found a lot of comfort in the occult because I wasn't getting emotional comfort, physical comfort. The next thing that I found was spiritual comfort. I did believe in God. I was raised Jehovah's Witness from my mom's side. So I did have a lot of faith in God, but I found a lot of comfort, spiritual comfort in the occult because I felt like I was really different from everybody else. It was really hard for me to understand why things would happen in my life. So I found that comfort in doing Reiki and doing psychic works and doing really powerful meditations where, I would meet a guardian angel and I would, speak to them and I would get visited at night, visitations at night. I was doing that for about 8 years, studying Reiki, doing chakra healings, and my family, they were a little supportive, which confused me a lot because, again, I didn't feel like I belonged anywhere. But in this really, really different sort of practice, I got supported, even though what I learned in Jehovah's Witness is that, the occult is not of God. But why did I feel so much comfort when I was doing that? Even though I was doing these peaceful practices, I didn't understand why my life was always falling apart around me. My relationships, my friendships. I would crave love. I would crave to feel like I belong somewhere. But all those events in my life, they always just ended up being horrible. And spiritually, my home, the occult, the Reiki, the New Age practices, that was even falling apart around me. So that was my main identity at the time, and that was shattering. So it was really difficult for me to navigate. I tried taking my life twice. I was hospitalized twice, and it was a very difficult moment in my life. And sorry. And after the 8 years, being so deep into this and trying to find where I fit in, it just felt like I lost control of everything. And I was like, if I don't even have a spiritual home anymore, then I don't belong anywhere. There was one night that I wanted to end it once and for all, but I remember looking out the window as if kind of like saying goodbye to the world. And I heard a voice, and it told me, it was like, not yet. There are lots of things in store for you. And this wasn't weird for me to hear voices, but I was like, it was like I was negotiating with this voice. I was like, these things don't happen to me. These things don't happen to people like me. And yet I was like, okay, I don't care. Whoever you are, all right, I'll give you till the end of this year. And if nothing changes in my life, I'm ending it once and for all. I don't care. I felt nothing. I was empty. Spiritually, mentally, physically, I was just empty. I was like a shell. That week, actually, I posted something on Facebook, and a sister from Sal's Bible Study messaged me, and she was like, you know what, I've been wanting to invite you to our Bible study. And I've been, I was wondering if you'd want to go. In my mind, I was like, I'll try anything. I don't care. I didn't even ask her religion. I didn't care. I was like, okay, let me try this God thing. And I went. It was a Brother Saul's Bible study, and I went. And I remember a conversation between me and Saul, where he told me that the first day he saw me walking into his home, he said that God told him that that girl needs a lot of love. And I remember when he told me that, I kind of broke down, because at that time, of course, I was nothing, and I didn't know what to do anymore. So just the fact that God said that to him, it made me feel so cared for. It made me feel like there was someone actually thinking about me and that actually saw my struggle. But yeah, after that night, after Bible study, my whole life changed. I remember going home, and I was like, I can't believe I'm doing this. And I got down on my knees, and it was Pandora at the time. I put Christian music. The first song that played was Here I Am to Worship. And I was praying to Jesus. I was like, God, change my life, please. And that was it. God changed my life. One thing that for sure that God helped me through is, to find my identity and to accept myself for who I am, for who He created me to be. Because back then, without him, I was trying to figure it out on my own, and I couldn't. I was trying to fill the void that was in me, but I couldn't. But now that I have God, now I have an identity in Him. Now I have a purpose. I still struggle with myself. I still struggle with, how I feel. I still feel very strongly. But now God has guided me to that purpose. Now He has been guiding me of why He made me like this, why I feel a lot. And to me, I'm like, this is why. It made so much sense to me when I started coming to Christ. I'm like, this is why I'm like this. Because God needed me to go through all these things, because God made me with a huge heart so that I can pray for others, so that I can intercede for others. And now I have peace and I have purpose, and I'm so thankful for Him for that. A lot of these occult practices look like they're good for you, but they're not. You cannot find any comfort, you cannot find any remedy anywhere else other than Christ. Find people that will fight with you. When you have that support system, that strong support system, and when you have Christ, it's not impossible.